Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Brittany. If you don't know me, I usually post vlogs and makeup tutorials and stuff. Don't mind my puppy. This is Bentley. But today I decided to post something new, and I want you guys to let me know if you like it or not. Today's video is a DIY project. Well, it's multiple of them from Dollar Tree, and I can tell you throughout the video how much the whole thing costs together. I'm just gonna go through the process of showing you how to do it so that you guys can make your own beautiful home decor as well. Let's get into the video. I'm gonna do a voiceover during this, and you just leave in the comments if you like it or not. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your post notifications so that you get notified every time I upload, if you like. And let's get into it. Mwah. Hey you guys, thank you for coming on here and watching me. So I'm just gonna get right into it. I got this block at the dollar store. It works just as well as any other flower block. I'm just gonna put it in here, trying to shape it out to fit into this tub, which I also got at the dollar store. And here I am. You can use any utensil. I just found a quick one that I got from a cookie thing that was sharp enough for me to be able to cut it and then just pull it apart. And I got the smaller pieces so I can fit in the cracks of the flower pot so that I can put my flowers in there. And then I got these beautiful fall flowers from the dollar store. You have to be careful which dollar stores you go to. They all have different types. So here I am just cutting off the tags, and then I'm cutting all of the limbs apart. Not sure what I'm doing here. Oh, I went to a different project. So I got these cute little pumpkins, and I thought it would be a great idea to super glue them onto some picks so that I can stick them throughout the flowers. And just kind of make it more look like a fall theme with the white pumpkins. They had orange ones too, but I like more of the white minimalist look. So that's what I went for. So here I am starting to cut all of the limbs off of the flowers. Usually you would do this with a flower cutter or a wire cutter because there are little wires in there, but I didn't feel like going to the store and getting one, so I just used these crappy pair of scissors, and it did the job. So I'm also pulling the leaves up so that they're more towards the top. Now you can notice that not all of them have double leaves, but the ones that do, I do like to push those up so that they will stick out of the pot to make it look fuller. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut all of these, and I will come back. So here are a couple flowers that I had cut up. I cut up a few more before this, but some of them have extra leaves on them. So like I said, go ahead and push those up all the way to the top so they look fuller. But then I noticed I had extra leaves from like the flowers missing or something. So I decided to put those on the pumpkin to make the pumpkin look fuller and actually a part of the flowers themselves. So that's what I'm doing here, is I'm just adding it to it and add a little more design and greenery to it. So here I am, I'm just placing the flowers first and then trying to like decorate each flower around it by placing the stems into the, what is that called, a flower block? I'm not sure, I'm new to this. But I got all of these flowers and all these leaves from the Dollar Tree, along with the pot and the block. So this is gonna look pretty good for only a couple bucks. So I couldn't complain about how kind of cheap they looked, but we worked with it, we got it. So I'm just fluffing the flowers and leaves and trying to find placement. I did notice I got a little too much, but I was determined that I was going to use it all. Alright, I skipped through most of that so that you didn't have to be bored with me just organizing. But here I'm just adding in accents of white beads and branches, and I put the pumpkins in there. And then this is what the end result ended up looking like. I know you can't see a whole lot of it. I finally adjusted my camera, but yeah, this is the flower pot. And it actually looks really cute. So here we go with this styrofoam pumpkin. This thing is horrid looking. And I was like, what the heck am I gonna do with this? So I decided I was going to make my own pumpkin. So go ahead and pull that top off because it just has a toothpick in it. And then you're gonna go ahead and carve out the top part of it and make it a circle. But don't like cut. You have to like prick to cut because it is styrofoam, so stuff is gonna get everywhere. So I decided I'm gonna use this kitchen towel that I found at the Dollar Tree as well. I couldn't find anything else, and wrapping paper would have looked really bad. So I decided to lay this kitchen towel out and then just corner by corner shoving it inside the hole there, and it ends up looking pretty cute for a fabric pumpkin. Now you might notice here that I made the hole a little too small, so I have to take it all out of here, and I make the hole a little bigger. So that's what I'm doing here, is carving out a bigger hole. And just peeling those back. So we'll start all over. Start by the corner piece so that it folds better. And then you just kind of go along the edges with the folds. Also try and make sure that there's no seams showing so that it doesn't look super cheap. I mean, it is from Dollar Tree, but we can make it look a little nice. So here I'm just trying to tuck in those seams there and make the folds look a little more realistic. So once you finally get that step done on trying to get your fabric, which you can use any fabric, just make sure it's either thick, or if it is a thin fabric, double it, or you're going to end up with a see-through orange pumpkin through your fabric. Here, I think the green top styrofoam thing is so ugly, so I decided to yarn wrap it, or wrap it in yarn with super glue. But you have to be really careful at this point because you don't want to burn yourself like I did. But I'm just gonna wrap it in yarn and it's gonna look beautiful. So here I am. I went on to a next step because I was tired of that. I'm actually melting a candle. They have these tall white candles at the Dollar Tree. So you melt it down by doing a medium to high heat or just medium. And right now I'm trying to fish out the wick, but you just set it in a pot of water. I put a pumpkin smelling Scentsy in there, so it actually kind of turned it orange, which is what I was going for, and so that it had a scent. So here I pulled the wick out and let it hang over. And I got this cup from the Dollar Tree. It was a like orange iridescent colored, and I thought it would be really pretty as a candle. So here I go pulling the wick out. Make sure when you do this step to use tweezers or something and not just using your fingers like I did. So you're going to super glue that wick down into the center of the thing. To make sure that it stayed, I just used the same thing I cut the pumpkin with, the little sharp tool. I got the candle off of the stove and it is very hot, so be very careful. Here I'm just using the stems to hold the wick into place. You can do that last or like after you pour the candle wax, it really doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna pour it in there carefully because it does like kind of dry and you don't want that all over your counter.
And honestly, one jar fit absolutely perfect into the cup. So I'm just going to set that to the side and let it completely dry or harden, however you say that. And here I go back to the awful topper of the pumpkin. You definitely could use a bigger yarn for this, but I only had a small one, but we made it work. We made it work. I was so done with this dumb thing. So I decided to stick it in there with the toothpick. That didn't work. So I'm just going to hot glue it onto the top of the pumpkin. Ends up looking super cute actually for a homemade kitchen towel pumpkin. You wouldn't even think that that was like something that you could make. I just, imagination. So I got this calendar from the Dollar Tree, and I thought it was super cute. I could use the months as pictures in a picture frame. So I went to October, November to see what those were, and they were so cute. It said fall in love, and I think the other one said thankful or something. So you go ahead and you cut this out, and then make sure not to pull it because it will tear the calendar in half. I've learned from experience. So the next step is you get a picture frame from Dollar Tree. You go ahead and you open that up, and you can do this however you'd like. I wish I would have done it differently, but now I know. But you go ahead and remove all the stuff, even the glass. You can keep the glass there, but I just personally didn't want it there. I just didn't want that look for what I was going for. Make sure you frame it up. I eventually go and put the picture on the piece of cardboard that was on the back, and that's how I kind of even that out. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out where to even place stuff. So here, and then I super glued it down in the corners. Don't use too much super glue or hot glue, only because you don't want it to wrinkle and you definitely don't want it to melt through. So I end up hot gluing all 4 corners, and then I match up the frame piece with it because I thought that would look super cute inside the frame. So I go ahead and I glue that down as well. I think I end up cutting it first. Oh yeah, I end up cutting the sides off first. And then I go ahead and I hot glue that frame on there. Just like that. So lovely and so cute. And honestly, I didn't even know that little frame came with the picture frame. I thought it was like a part of the picture. So I was shocked and excited because it just adds a little more detail. Now you can definitely add some twine and add a bow or something, but I was just trying to do something really simple here. I go ahead and I add it back into the frame, and then I decided I didn't like it because it was like you could see the holes all in the inside, so I go ahead and I take it back out. I end up actually doing something pretty funny. I want it to be on the back part of the frame, not inside of it. So I go ahead and I bend these black pieces back so that they're out of my way. They're awful to deal with. And I want this setting on the back. Well, the thing is it fits inside of it, so I have to make the border bigger. So these styrofoam pieces that came with the picture frame came in handy. Now, I definitely could have super glued the picture frame to the other cardboard piece and then put this cardboard piece on the back so it didn't look as tacky, or gotten a different piece of cardboard to place on the back so it didn't look as tacky, which I think I will do that next time, or I will fix these eventually. But for now, this is what we did. Mind you, I did do this at about 10 to midnight, so I was a little tired. I go ahead and I super glue those styrofoam pieces onto the back. Make sure that they stick on pretty well so that the picture doesn't fall out. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do here. Be very careful not to burn yourself like I did multiple times. My hot glue gun though is on a low temperature so it doesn't hurt as bad when I burn myself. So just be careful. But this is what the finished product looks like. And I go ahead and I end up doing that with a second picture from the calendar. So again, I'm going to super glue down that frame, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut the sides, and I'll show you when it's done. So here's the finished product for that second picture. Ends up so cute. So these two books I also got from Dollar Tree. I decided that I was going to decorate with them. So yes, Dollar Tree has a book section of just random books, and I decided to get two different books that had a white binding on the inside, and I folded them over and super glued or hot glued them down, and I had scrapbooking stickers still. I wish I would have had bigger ones, but these will do for now. I decided to write stuff on the bind of the book for decoration, and I put thankful, and on the other one I put blessed. And I'm using this to stack and just decorate for candles. I think it'll be so fun, so cute, and it just will fit perfect with what I'm trying to do here. So here, this is what they ended up looking like. So I decided that it was too boring for my liking, and I wanted to add something to decorate it, but something still simple. I decided to make a bow out of twine and just put it on one of the rinds of the books here, and then that still wasn't enough. I decided to get a brown heart, which I have these from decorating stuff from my wedding, but you can find these really anywhere, or a button would have worked just as well. But I put a brown heart right in the middle of the bow, and it just added a cute little design there so that it wasn't super plain, but it also wasn't over the top decorated. It ended up looking so cute once you stack them, just like that. You just gotta play with them, see where you like the placement of it. All right, so the candle has hardened. I'm going to cut the wick right in the middle and leave a little tiny spot so that you can still light it. But if you noticed, it was orange. It had an orange tint, which was awesome. That's what I wanted. So here I got a candle holder and a plate. The plate matches perfect with what I was wanting, but the candle holder was not matching. So I decided to take forever and wrap this thing in twine. And I had to wrap it in hot glue and wrap it and hot glue it and wrap it and hot glue it. So be careful, do not burn yourself. Use a thicker yarn than I did, or a twine. But it ends up looking really good. And I just love the finished product of it. And I did this so that I could have the flowers raised up higher than all the other decorations. So here, sorry, pardon the camera, I don't know why it did this, but I finally finished the twine, so I'm going to hot glue the candle holder to the bottom of the plate. Make sure that you center it so that it's not lopsided or anything. I'm just gonna go around with the hot glue gun, make sure that it stays. I definitely don't want that breaking. So I decided these little pumpkins were so cute, but they definitely needed some TLC for sure. So I did the same thing. I added a bow and a heart, and this is the finished product. I just put it all around on my table and I decorated it, and this is a whopping total of $17. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you are inspired to make your own products from DIY and Dollar Tree. So have a great day. Love you guys. Bye.